Many people wondered why Mayor Villaraigosa was opposed to running for governor. Now we might know why. Turns out his goals may be larger than the state of California. Santa Claus is coming to town. Actually, he's riding on a surfboard. We found Santa catching some waves off the coast of Manhattan Beach. I guess the reindeer didn't know how to swim. I can only escape it for so long. Brace yourselves, California. The rain is on the way, and I bet you will love our team coverage. What do you think of the mayor of Los Angeles? A lot of people take shots at Antonio Villaraigosa, but keep in mind he was reelected. He says when his term is up, he is not going to run for governor. What do you think of him running for the Senate in 2012? Now think about this. If he's not governor, what else could he run for? Would you vote for him as a senator? He'd be running for Barbara Boxer's seat. She'll be closing in on 80 when her term is up. Our contributors tonight, civil rights attorney and radio talk show host Leo Terrell and political activist Paul Schrader. And Leo, I'll start with you. Should the mayor run? And if so, would he win?
Should he run? That's his choice. Will he win? No, I won't vote for him. He can't use L.A. as an example of great government because this city's in total debt. Let's not forget, he claimed to be the education mayor, and the school system is disastrous. There's no upside, and he has a questionable personal life. No way for this mayor to run. And I got news for you. People will remember him 3 years from now.
Well, here's the thing, Leo. He has a questionable personal life. He's separated now. But the people of this city reelected him.
Yes, and you know what? He ran against nobody, Fred. No one. And he did not get a resounding supermajority. He ran for re-election against no one. And I got news for you. I don't think this guy has no chance for a statewide election.
Paul, what do you think? Would he be a good senator? Would he get elected?
No, he wouldn't. And I wouldn't vote for him either. You know, this guy right now, we've got a $530 million budget gap. Basically, he does a mediocre job. He's full of energy, but that's about all he's full of doing in the state. And I don't believe that he can do anything other than run around the state and help other political people. And when he is in Los Angeles, he's doing nothing. He said his number one goal is to maximize jobs. And I don't see jobs coming into the city of L.A. So, you know, no, I would not vote for him, and I think he would do a terrible job as he's doing right now in the city of Los Angeles.
Boy, listen.
One of the examples, Fred, is that this man for the first 2 years of his office was just sitting around, flying across the country, basically PRing himself, and basically he's done nothing for the city. So he has a vote of no confidence, really, and I guarantee you, term limits in L.A. is good for him because he cannot get reelected here in the city.
Well, I'll tell you something. If he's considering running for Senate, I hope he didn't run into you two guys. I'll tell you that. All right. Now, this next item is unprecedented in the city of Los Angeles. Fremont High School students have performed so poorly that they're going to shut down the school and start over. Everybody that works there has to reapply for their jobs with no guarantee they'll return. Fremont has long endured high dropout rates and low standardized test scores. This is being called reconstruction. As you can imagine, the teachers union is up in arms. They say the superintendent is grandstanding. They wonder if the problem is Fremont in an underprivileged area. This is definitely going to shake people up. Paul, is this a good idea?
Yes, I truly believe it's a good idea. I believe the superintendent's doing the right thing. I really do not care what the teachers unions think because they're not looking out at the welfare of the children. They're looking out for the welfare of the teachers.
But I'll stop you right there, Paul, and say to you, if we called the teachers union in, they would say their only goal is to look out for the welfare of the students.
I never see that. The only thing I ever look and see is them asking for more money and more benefits for the teachers. And I believe that the superintendent is looking at this as a business. It's doing poorly, so the employees, who are the teachers, are now being asked to step up to the plate. And I really like this.
Time out, Paul. This is just a grandstanding of the school district. The superintendent has so many failed schools. And I got news for you. He's going to get rid of these teachers at Fremont. But guess what? They're not being fired. They're just going to be gone. They're going to be circulated to other schools. So the LA Unified School District is a disaster from top to bottom. It's top-heavy with management.
You know what?
Top-heavy with management.
He's got to start somewhere. And I think Fremont, the reconstruction, he's got to start here. Let's see what happens.
Well, then explain to me, these teachers that are so bad, they're not leaving the district, Paul. They're going to stay with the district. They're just going to be going to other schools and poisoning other schools.
Well, let's hope he has a retraining program and something other than just pushing them to other schools without retraining these people.
Well, the issue here, is the teachers union. I think, Paul, you correctly nailed that. Leo, I'm not so sure it's grandstanding. I mean, something has to be done with the LAUSD. And the mayor has talked about being the education mayor. Well, obviously, he wasn't able to turn it around. And the superintendent has his hands tied for the most part. At least this is a step in some direction. At least this is an effort to do something.
But, Fred, there's so many other schools that are disastrous. The feeding schools into Fremont, they're disastrous. This is just one school. Why this school? There's 40 to 50 troubled schools. Fred, that's why we have charter schools in LA Unified, because the Unified School District can't do anything right to resolve this problem.
All right, Leo, one question here. We got about 10 seconds and we have to move on. So you're saying we've got all these troubled schools. Why won't they do something else there? Maybe you should shut them all down and start again.
No argument there, Fred. Let's start all over. But let's not let the school district set the policy for these troubled schools. I don't think so.
Okay. Let's move on now. A lot of people were surprised when Roman Polanski was recently arrested in Switzerland for fleeing the country following his 1977 child sex case. Today, an attorney for Polanski urged a state appeals court panel to throw the case out for an astonishing record of misconduct by the then district attorney's office and the judge who originally oversaw the case. The feeling today by the DA, he can't ask California courts for anything unless he comes back. Leo, should Polanski be forced to return? And if so, should they finally throw this case out?
Yes and no. He comes back. Crime does not pay. Just because he's a fugitive for 30 years doesn't mean that we should excuse his crime. He should come back. And regardless of the misconduct of the judge, Fred, let me be very clear. This man was accused of raping a 13-year-old. You read the transcript, it's frightening. This man should not be excused for his crimes, notwithstanding his wealth, his fame, and his Hollywood connection.
You know, it's interesting here, Leo, but the victim in this case has said she would prefer this go away. She doesn't need this publicity right now. It's infringing on her life and making things very difficult.
It's a crime against society, Fred. She's the victim, but it's the people versus Roman Polanski. The state of California versus Roman Polanski. He committed a crime against the state. It goes beyond the victim.
Paul, it happened in 1977. Should they let it alone or should he come back?
They should bring him back and he should face justice. He's pled guilty to this crime and he should come back and go to jail. That's what they're going to do. They're going to put him in jail, and that's where he needs to be. This was a heinous crime. It was terrible. In 1977, a 13-year-old girl, and it's terrible. And this guy should be brought back and put back in jail. And that's what he's facing.
But the prevailing feeling here is that there was misconduct during the trial and that will have to be discussed and sorted out. Leo, is there any possibility if he comes back, they dismiss it?
Sure there is. But Fred, the first step is for him to come back into the United States, into the L.A. County, work out an arrangement with the district attorney. The district attorney, from a PR standpoint, Fred, is not going to let this man walk 3,000 miles away. He has to come back, face the courts, and then let's cut a deal, but not before then.
All right, now, I want you guys to listen to this very carefully, and at home, I want you to think about this. You tell me, does this man have a case? Terrell Watanabe, who lived in Southern California for a period of time, is suing Harrah's, the owners of Caesar's Palace, for fraud, breach of contract, conspiracy, and negligence. Why? Because he ran up gambling debts of $15 million and won't pay. Overall, Watanabe, who was very well-to-do, lost $127 million in a year, but is refusing to pay the final $15 million. He claims that company executives manipulated him with a secret intention of siphoning off his wealth. His attorney says he's a gambling addict, and the casino kept staking him money to take advantage of him. He also said that his gambling at Caesar's Palace in Rio accounted for around 20% of revenue at both casinos in 2006 and 2007. Mr. Watanabe has been charged with theft and pleaded not guilty. He's currently free on $1.5 million bail. It sounds like he's got no case to me, Paul, or does he?
He has no case at all. I believe he had free will to walk in there. He had free will to walk out. He made a choice to go in there and spend that money. He made a choice to make agreements with the casinos. I believe he has absolutely no case.
Leo, if he came to you and said, I need help, what would you tell him?
I would tell him, you know what, go to Gamblers Anonymous. Fred, you talked about it before. This is the type of case that gives lawyers bad name. I'm upset with the lawyers who filed this. This is nothing more than a PR stance. This is a frivolous lawsuit. He has no chance.
Leo.
Yes.
You've told me there's no such thing as a frivolous lawsuit.
Oh, no,
you said
Fred.
that.
No, I said no. We were talking about another case. This is a frivolous lawsuit because this case hasn't been tested by the courts yet. He filed the lawsuit, but this case has no merit from my perspective, and it gives lawyers a bad name. Shame on the lawyers who filed this lawsuit.
All right. Guys, I appreciate it. Well done tonight, as always. You guys have a nice weekend.
Thank you, Fred.
Thank you.
Okay.